Oh my god, this game. Sorry guys. Game crashed as soon as I minimized the window. It's kind of stupid. Um, I don't understand. Let's restart it and see what happens. Anyway, how y'all doing? Hope you're doing fine. I don't know if my voice is muffled or not, or if the game's way too loud. I'm not really sure. Now, I think I was creating a server earlier. Let's see if it works now. So, hello. Now, it did look like it was creating a server, but it's hit or miss. Hopefully when I get back on now, it's gonna say that I have a server created, but it crashed when I made it full screen or whatever. So it looks like it might be working. So let me make it full screen. Which may or may not crash it. But now I don't have any chat. I don't know why it does that, like the game. Oh, did it crash again? No. It might crash though when I bring it back up. So the problem is I have two screens here, so every time I minimize it, it moves the two windows over top of each other. Like it doesn't discern the two screens, so I don't really understand why it does that. But see, now I can't see the chat, which is kind of dumb. And every time I click over here, it minimizes my game screen. So let me try to do it this way. Let me put it like way over here. So it's probably going to crash eventually because you keep minimizing it. Yep. Ah, unbelievable. I'm trying. My goodness, man. So I wonder what happens if I maximize it right here. Now I can't see the chat again. It's unbelievable. Like it just wants to overlap. Alright, I'm gonna shrink this OBS window a lot and see what happens. Alright, that's a little better. At least I can see something. So let's start the game again. Now it's probably gonna crash a lot. I have it at 1440p, so usually. Now it's giving me a warning about the bit rate. Which shouldn't be a problem. But you guys tell me if there's an issue with the stream. And I don't know if you can hear me, so you'll have to tell me that too. Alright. Now I probably haven't played this game for like over a year. So I'm going to be very, 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 very rusty. Look at this, 6 minutes. 6 minutes of wasted stream. So everybody, hello. Hope you are all well. Or as well as can be, you know. I can tell you that to be honest, I'm only making this video to talk about hate and assassinations. So I'm going to get right into it. So, just to give you an example, I was in a game earlier this week, and the game that I was playing, I was you know, asking. There was some people online, and I got together with them, or on the game, and I got together with them. We grouped up and we did a dungeon together, which was fine. I had fun. But then I proceeded to ask them, like, if they were in a guild and all that stuff. Probably gonna fall back down here. Okay, good. And I told them that I was already in a guild, but my guild wasn't really that active. I mean, I didn't want to leave the guild, but I needed people to group up with, so I figured, well, maybe I should just go find another guild, right? So anyway, to make a long story short, I asked them if they were in a guild. They said yes. And then they said, but we have our own little side guild, right? And that kind of like seemed a little strange to say that, because obviously you can't be part of a guild and then be part of another guild, like you can only be in one guild at a time, right? So that was kind of weird. So, and then like there was a little bit of a pause, and I said, "Oh yeah." And then there was a little bit of a pause, and then he said, "Oh yeah, you can join our Discord if you want." And then I was like, "Well, I kind of paused again, and then I was like, well, I kind of was just interested in joining a guild." And then they said something like, and this is not verbatim, I'm not quoting everything I said. I mean, I don't remember the exact words, but the essence of what I'm saying is true. So so then they said, well, if you don't want to join Discord, that's fine. And I said, oh, well, no, that's not a problem. I have a mic, so it's not a problem. I can. talk on Discord, and then one of the other people um, who were in the, because we were in a group at the time, so we were in like the team chat, said, basically, oh, you can join the Discord only if you hate Israel, right? So I kind of like paused. I didn't say anything, and then I typed in. I said, well, I love everyone. I don't hate anyone. So, and then another person that was in the group said, "Free Palestine," right, like that. And then another person in the team started making fun of Charlie Kirk. Okay, so then I kind of knew where all this was going. You know what I'm saying? So so I basically just paused, and then I gotta be careful not to loot because I'm gonna. Oh, I don't have any ammo. Hmm. I got 11. That's not good. Um. I hear something. I think a Utah. I gotta remember how to run. Okay. Yeah, I think I hear a Utah up here somewhere. Or over there. So then I wrote, um, this is what continues the. I'm not sure if I said the violence or the hate. One of those things. I don't recall now. I either said this is what continues the violence, or this is what continues the hate. I probably said the violence, so. And then I basically said, ciao, which is goodbye, and that was it. I left the group. So that was kind of funny thing to happen, or interesting thing to happen, because the FBI was reporting that the killer of Charlie Kirk, was, of course, involved with Discord chat rooms, where apparently, these people are basically hating on Trump, hating on conservatives, hating on Charlie Kirk, hating on people that don't agree with them. Now, of course, um, I don't know exactly what they were saying, because that hasn't been disclosed yet, but it was pretty clear the FBI was making it known that there was conversations on Discord, you know what I mean, prior to this killing. And anyway, this happening to me in the game just kind of reinforced that and confirmed that. You know what I'm saying? That these people, um, are basically inviting people in and then, you know, grooming them into believing the lies that are being told, you know what I mean, about everything, you know? Because the UN brought out a report that apparently that Israel's committing genocide. So, first of all, the UN is a uh, anti-free speech hack. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not for free speech at all. So that right there just shows to me that they can't be trusted. You know what I'm saying? So they are definitely not about traditional Western values anymore. Um, so I don't care what the UN says, to be honest. I mean, obviously they can they can determine things or you know um, come together and kind of uh, have a consensus on things or whatever, but that doesn't make it right. The UN is not my God. You know what I'm saying? Nor are they my government. So we really need to stop giving the UN credit, right? Especially when they're condemning things, um, because it's very clear that their only agenda is globalism. That's it. So that hasn't been working out too well for countries. Um, so yeah, so if you have kids, know what they're doing. Don't just take it for granted that you think they're mature enough to handle things. You know what I'm saying? That they're mature enough to resist the mental mind games that the leftists play with people. You know what I'm saying? Because, the way the leftist talks is they say things to make you feel guilty. Like that's really what they do, right? They basically guilt you into accepting what they're saying, right? With the rhetoric, with the talk, right? With the studies, right? This study and that study and all this stuff, right? So studies don't really uh, quantify necessarily what happens on the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, we can agree that if you put two marbles on the table and you say how many marbles are on the table, then you would say two marbles. Like, we can have a consensus to agree on things like that, right? Because they are pretty, um, uh, they're pretty fundamental to most people. So I got to turn this down, I guess, to, I don't know, maybe 1080p. I'm not sure. Let's try 1080p, but that's not going to look very good. But anyway, let's try 2 times and let's turn down, I guess, shadow quality maybe. Yeah, let's try that. So I apologize if the graphics quality is now piss poor. Because when you turn up like you can't play this game at 4K, right? Even if you set it at 4K, it's just not. It's gonna keep crashing. Like I don't know why. Obviously they haven't optimized it, and it may even crash on 1080p. Who knows? You know what I mean? We'll see. So I'll play it as long as I can. I wish they would release. Well, they're not selling the game anymore, so I guess they can't give it mod support. Because what would be the incentive for them, right? Nobody's buying the game anymore. Wow. Where am I at here? Alright, so there's going to be Utah here. for sure. Um, yeah, now I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, so the left plays mental mind games to try to guilt you into following their ideology. Because they want these young people to be like, oh no, I would never be that kind of a person, or I don't want to be a racist, I don't want to be a fascist, I don't want to be this and that. It's kind of like they don't give them a choice. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody wants to like feel be labeled those kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? Um, so you're kind of guilt tripped into coming into the circle, right? But then the longer you're in the circle, and the more that you hear this kind of hate talk against conservatives, against Christians, against people who who love and respect traditional values, who believe in, you know, a man is a man and a woman is a woman, the more that they speak against those people and have this hate talk towards them, you know, it's like, if you're told a lie long enough, then you start to believe it, or, right? Or you start to, it becomes truth to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't see the world any other way. And I really feel for the young people who have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very hard to resist the rejection that you would get if you say, well, um, I don't really think that way and I don't agree with you. But at the same time, I'm not a fascist, I'm not a racist, I'm not a misogynist, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, that's a pretty tough position to be in. I would never minimize. Um, why did the thing go? I don't know. The thing just like minimized for some reason. Not sure why. This game is very annoying. Okay. Well, hopefully, since we're in 1080p, we're not gonna. Um, I don't know. I heard a trike over here somewhere. So, I'm sure if you weren't like in a closet for the past week, and you're not just simply a hater of people, of free thinkers, you probably saw online many videos about people talking about Charlie Kirk, many vigils going on, memorials, that kind of thing. But I want to focus on the videos where people were talking individually about like um, how they felt. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna be honest with you here. I'm gonna spill out my feelings here. Um, a lot of people were wondering why they were feeling the way they felt about Charlie Kirk, um, when they didn't really know the guy and maybe didn't even like watch the guy like, technically, you know what I'm saying? They might have like knew of him, right? But um, They didn't really like. Come on. Uh, they didn't really like follow him per se or watch him all the time. Maybe just here or there, right? That was loud. Very loud in my ears. Whew. Give me a sec. Sorry. Sorry, I'll try not to sniffle a lot. The weather's changing and my sinuses are going nutsy again. You know what I mean? Um, so, um, so I'm gonna tell you my experience, right? The reason why I think people are feeling so emotional about somebody they really, never met. Um, Maybe they only knew, a little bit about him, or whatever. Maybe just heard of him. Um, because he wasn't really a prominent politician or anything. He was definitely, in politics. But how do I get up? Okay, come on now. Ah, ah, darn it. Now, I don't know if I should harvest these guys because the game usually crashes. So forgive me if the game crashes. Let's see if I can harvest them. It doesn't save anyway, I don't think. But it will crash eventually if I keep harvesting, I think. It's just when it's on 1080p, um, it doesn't um, crash as quickly. I'll put it that way. So anyway, what I will say is that um, the past week, after, I'm not sure if you guys are aware about the Ukrainian girl, who got killed on the train a little over a month ago, because it did happen over a month ago, even though people were talking about it recently. That's because the media just didn't talk about it. You know what I mean? Um, so people were bringing it up because the media was just not really telling the story. So um, there was a Ukrainian girl on a train in, I think, Charlotte, North Carolina. Forgive me if I'm incorrect on the city. Um, she came on the train. She sat down in front of this individual, black guy. He was apparently looked, he looked mentally disturbed. He was kind of talking to himself and stuff. And she just sat down with her headphones on, just kind of looking at her phone. And after a few minutes, he just got up, pulled out a knife, and just slashed her throat. and then walked off the walked off the train. You know what I mean? So um, yeah. And then she's looking up at him with her fingers in her mouth because she's like surprised, like she's just like confused. Like the sad part about it was um, she was looking up at him with her fingers in her mouth. She's like having that kind of scared look. Looking up at the dude, and he walks around her, and goes off the train eventually. And she doesn't even realize what happened. Like he cut it, he like did like one, two, three, real quick on her throat, like it was really fast. And he knew exactly where to cut her. It wasn't just like sloppy. He like did the left and then the right and then the middle or something. He made sure he got all sides. It looked like, and like she probably just thought he put his hands on her. You know what I mean? Like he felt the rubbing of something, and she probably assumed it was his hands. So she's looking up at the dude with her fingers in her mouth, like, what's going on here? You know? And like when he walked away, that's when she realized that she's bleeding. Like she didn't even know her throat was cut. At least that's from me looking at the video, that's what I believe. So it wasn't until like he walked away and she's sitting there and then she probably felt something wet or she just felt kind of weird, queasy or pain or something in her neck, it didn't feel right, you know, and she touched her neck and that's when she sees the blood. You know what I'm saying? And then but by that time she probably already had bled like a, quite a bit, and then she started like you know flopping over, and then she just kind of flopped on the floor between there's like a when that little kind of wall, like she was in the seat like right next to the doors. So when you come in the door, there's like a wall here, and then she was in the seat right behind the wall. So she fell into that between the wall and the seat, and you know you would think she died there, but she actually didn't, because she was putting her hand up, I guess, because she was still, I guess, somewhat conscious, but she was weak because she lost a lot of blood. Um, and then eventually, like way too much time later, there was some people that finally went down there to you know to look at her, whatever, help her if that's what you want to call it, you know. But nobody at all got up to help her. Like there was people sitting adjacent to her, right in the other aisle against the other windows. And obviously like anybody who's at all spatially aware would have seen her flop over. You know what I'm saying? Like she was there and then flopped over on the floor. Like nobody like now I can understand how the people may not have saw him cut her because he did it so fast, right? Like really quick, you know? And he had kind of a small knife, so you couldn't really it's not like it was like a big gigantic knife that, everybody would see. It was like a little pocket knife, you know what I mean? So he just kind of slashed her. She looked up at him and then he walked out. And that was really I wish I didn't see the video, like to be honest with you. Like it it was just it wasn't terrifying as much as it was heartbreaking. You know what I'm saying? Because this girl, Hey, sportsman, how you doing, buddy? Like, this girl, like, did not provoke this individual at all. Like, he just stood up, took out his knife, and killed her. Like, there was nothing at all threatening about this girl. Like, she was not a big girl. She was not like, bad mouthing, or just shooting her mouth off to annoy somebody. She just walked in, sat down in the seat quietly, and was just listening to her music on her headphones or whatever she was listening to on her phone. And 4 minutes later, or thereabouts, he just stands up, slashes her neck, and walks off the train. And then she just flops over onto the floor. And just watching that video put what riled up emotions in me that I never felt before. Right. Yeah. I mean, she didn't even see it coming. And like I said, she didn't even know she got cut initially. You know what I mean? Because she just thought the guy probably just like slapped her neck or something, weird. So, oh boy, the bird. I am not used to this. So that was just one thing that like I said, just kind of like riled up emotions in me that I haven't felt in a very, very long time. Um, Emotions that I really didn't know what to do with. Like that's how like I said, I wasn't really like terrified. I was heartbroken. Like I was just like, how, even though I'm 54 and I've seen it all, like it's not the first time I seen murder and stuff, but it's just like, it was almost just like looking at a man killing a child. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to cry right now just talking about it because I have 3 kids and 2 grown kids. So that got me. And then to make matters worse, Charlie Kirk gets assassinated on a college campus during a friendly open forum where anyone is invited to talk about their beliefs, about issues, whatever you want to talk about, he's willing to talk about, right? Just to have a conversation. No hate. So that happening after I saw that girl just broke me. It just broke my brain. Now I know all about leftists, and you know how I feel about leftists, right? I used to be on the left, but, thank God I left that because I didn't buy into all the insanity. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I'm gonna try to go up here and not die. Um, so yeah, so the thing that broke me about Charlie Kirk was this, and this is why I think a lot of other people are like totally like just um I don't know. Everybody's messed up about the Charlie Kirk killing, even though we've seen, plenty of other people get murdered and killed, and even Trump supporters, The one guy in Seattle. No, I survived. Wow. Now, is there more than one? That's the big question. Um, that was scary. I don't know if I even have any health. Do I have health? Yeah, I do. Okay, great. Yes. Yeah, I hear you. So the reason why I think that this Charlie Kirk killing is like people are reacting to it so unusually is because the person who was killed was not Donald Trump or a president. It was not a prominent politician, who people may be disagreed with. It wasn't any like other high profile like commentator, on the news or in social media. It wasn't a movie star. It wasn't like you know, a, a, a Hollywood star. It wasn't a foreign national, like leader or something. This was an everyday person like you and me. He was just a neighbor, a fellow neighbor. And that's why I think people are so emotional about this, because now everybody knows for sure if they didn't know before. I mean, I already knew the left was unhinged because they're relentless. They don't stop. The only way to stop them is to, you know, do what it takes to shut them up. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying do anything. I'm just saying you have to put these people in prison. Like that's it. They got that. You can't give them a platform to speak. You can't give them the ability to go out there and plan things and get their hands on weapons or guns or whatever and 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 uh and do stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? You can't allow them to talk about their rhetoric anymore. Like that's it. You have to silence the hate speech. And then if they don't stop, you have to put them in prison. Like that's the only way to do it. You know what I'm saying? There is no other way because they won't stop. They won't stop if there's no consequences. Um, we know this from history. So yeah, so when Charlie Kirk got killed, everybody out there who didn't know it before knows that we all have a target on our backs, right? That we all are expendable to these people. That they don't have a care in the world for your humanity, for your life, for your freedom of choice, for your freedom of conscience. They don't care about our rights or individuality. They don't care. They only care about their own. And that's it. And if you're not on their side, then to them, you don't belong on any side. And they made that very, very clear with this shooting. And and I don't want to hear anybody tell me, "Oh, well, what are you doing? You're labeling everybody. You know what I mean? Um, do not walk away from here. You're labeling everybody under the same canopy. And you know what? Yes, I am. Because if you guys believe in this leftist ideology, then you believe in killing people. Bottom line, there's no other conclusion. You can't say, well, you love people, but then you support an ideology that says the a certain number of people don't belong on the earth anymore. Or they don't have a right to live. Like that's it. Like that's the only. There is no other justification for you supporting the left. And don't tell me it's about human rights or racial equality or equality or none of that crap. Conservatives have never been against racial inequality or inequality. They've never been for that. You know what I'm saying? Why am I not down all the way? Oh boy. He saw me. Finally. So, so a lot of people have now said, you know what? Enough is enough. Enough is enough. We're finished with the heartbreak. We're finished with seeing people suffering at the hands of the left, and then the left going around saying how much they say they love everybody. You know what I'm saying? When they don't love anybody except for themselves. That's it. That's it. That's it. You know? And of course, the second thing would be Charlie Kirk was a Christian, and he was a very devout Christian. He was very open about his beliefs, and it wasn't only attack on a normal regular American citizen, but it was an attack on a Christian, right? So that's very personal to a lot of people, whether you agree with Christianity or not. Okay? That cuts at the heart of a lot of people. And, Christians, regular everyday citizens have been sitting back. Oh boy. Oh, that must be the one that attacked me earlier. He's probably going to come attack me again. Yeah, I need to find a rock, because he's going to end up attacking me, watch. Oh, no. Crap. Alright, I'm coming back. That's because I harvested, probably. So I can't harvest. Now I don't know if you guys can get on the game. It doesn't give me that warning message when I start up the game. Let me know if it's like the game is too loud for my voice, or if my voice is too loud. Oh, is it? Good. That's cool. Alrighty, so let's see here. I need more buckshot, man. So it may be that my server is up, but I'm not sure because it didn't give me that warning message. All right, so I'm in T-Rex territory here, and I can't hear anything now because of the thunderstorm. So yeah, I normally would not. I'm not saying that people who vote left are bad people. What I'm saying is that if they continue to support the left, especially when they're voting, then you're basically saying what happened to Charlie Kirk was okay. That's what I'm saying. Right? I'm not just saying, oh, yeah, they're all bad people, blah, 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 down with them all. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you can't tell me that you are a loving, caring person if you're continuing to vote for the left. I don't care. I don't care what charities you're a part of or that you run. I don't care like whether you do community service or help people in the community. I don't care like all the good things that you might have done. I don't care. None of that means anything to me if you are in agreement with killing people. Because if you want to keep voting left, then the rhetoric is going to keep continuing. The hate talk is going to keep continuing against Christians, conservatives, normal everyday people. And I'm not saying that voting whatever, conservative or on the right, everything's just going to be magically perfect. I'm not saying that. But there is a greater demon right now. And unfortunately, it's on the left. You know what I'm saying? That's what... my goodness, man. This thing just keeps crashing. Yes, that's true, Little Red. Anyway, welcome to the stream. So the game is crashing not because my computer is bad. and the sportsman can attest that. It's just because the game is old and it hasn't been optimized, for newer hardware. Like it probably runs good like on my old computer, you know what I mean? But it just keeps crashing. Like if I go into my inventory, it might crash. If I harvest dinosaur, it might crash. Right. Yeah. I mean, that's why everybody's like saying this has to stop because we can't live in a country where if somebody says something you don't like, then you say, well, let's kill the guy or the girl. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't live in that kind of a society. Like not even live in it. You can't have that kind of society. I'll start talking once the game starts. Alrighty, back again. Wow, I'm up in the volcano now? Jesus. Yeah, you can't have a society like that where people just kill people because they don't agree with what they say. Like that's just I mean everybody should know this, obviously. Right, and everybody. The problem is like these young people are not taught like what happened in old communism or in despotic nations. You know what I'm saying? Like they're trying to make it like conservatism is like authoritarianism. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just dumb. And they don't really tell them what happened under communist rule. And then if they do, they just say "Oh, well, you know, they didn't do it the right way back then." You know what I'm saying? Like, what? What do you mean they didn't do it the right way? Like, who's they? First of all, let's go ahead and name the countries. We have North Korea, we have Vietnam, we have China, we have Cuba, right? And then we have like the USSR, which you might as well say is one big country, and a whole bunch of other little countries became communists, right? So, you know, you might as well say 20 or 25 countries in the world decided that they wanted to be communist. Like, how big of a test group do you need, right? Because obviously, most of those countries are not communists anymore. So if it was so great, then why did the people decide that they didn't want communism anymore? Like, that should be your first question. And then because you asked that question, then all the other things, you'll find all the other answers. Like maybe, let's see, hundreds of millions of people killed because they didn't agree with the government. Uh, Millions of farmers killed because they didn't comply with the government. Um, Thousands and thousands and maybe millions of people sent to the gulags to be what do they call that? Reprogrammed or punished because they didn't conform to the communist manifesto. You know, people being forced to work jobs. They didn't have a choice, you know, like in communist countries, like, this is your job. That's it. You don't have a choice. This is what you're doing. You're working in that factory, or you're working in that kitchen, or you know what I'm saying? So only the friends of the elites got the political positions, right? Only the most loyal to the Communist Party, but mainly their relatives and their friends. Like, because let's be realistic here. They didn't just pull an everyday nobody off the streets to become a political elite. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So it's like, what are we trying to do here? Like, how are we going to try to like make something that failed miserably all of a sudden work? And they'll say that, oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about. You're delusional. It's like, okay, whatever you say. You know, I'm the delusional one to acknowledge history, right? I'm the delusional one because I've read history books. You know what I'm saying? I'm the delusional one because when I grew up, this is what we were taught in school, right? History. We were taught about slavery. We were taught about communism. We were taught about, well, we were taught like about history that went way back. We were taught about the Greeks. We were taught about the Romans. We were taught about, you know, even like King Nebuchadnezzar and all them guys. You know what I mean? And Medo-Persia and old Greece, the Greek Empire, and you know Babylon. You know, we were taught about all that history in our school when I grew up, and we weren't taught to like hate black people. You know what I'm saying? We we were we were taught very liberal stuff in schools. You know what I'm saying? We were not taught like to be conservatives in grade school and high school. We were taught very liberal stuff, you know? Of course, back then it was like a more balanced, so to speak, even though they did teach about like evolution and all that crap, which I don't believe in. Um, but for the most part, the regular like math, science, well, the empirical science and the history, was kind of like, pretty straightforward. There was no controversy in it. Like we were taught about the Holocaust, the Jews getting slaughtered. Um, you know, so I can't change my tool to my axe. Yeah. So I mean, it's uh, crap. It's nonsensical to start lecturing me on like what's good and what's bad in the world. Because you're not lecturing somebody who's ignorant. Oh, crapola. Oh, man. Ah, come on. I don't have any rocks, unfortunately. Oh, oh, he didn't see me, huh? Gotcha. Now, there should be a T-Rex out here. Or maybe not. Where am I at, actually? Okay. Um, alright. So I am kind of way over here, huh? Now, how do I make a mark again? I forgot. I thought it was a left click. Oh, there we go. Okay. So where is that mark? Why can't I see it? Aren't we supposed to be able to see it? uh, over there maybe? Ah! Did it crash again? It crashed again. Man, oh man. Well, I think it's a terrible idea. When you don't bring in people in a controlled fashion, I mean, things go out of control. I mean, everything has to be done decently and in order. I mean, that's with anything, right? Whether you're running a business, whether you're running a home, right? Your family, whether you're running a school, whether you're running a country. I mean, everything has to be done decently and in order. You can't have just people running across the border. You know what I mean? Like with no checks and balances. I mean, that's just common sense. It's like what used to be normal common sense, right? So my wife is an immigrant, so I'm in no way against immigration. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't sneak across the border. She came here legally. We had to go through all the paperwork and pay all the fees and right. Every country that has mass immigration is going down slowly, right? It's not about the fact that we don't want immigrants here. It's about the fact that who exactly is coming here? Is it people that love our country? You know what I mean? Is it people that love our ideals? Or is it people that hate America and or just want to suck off the system? You know what I'm saying? As much as possible. Without being really effective contribution to society, right? So and are they going to care about the citizens of this country? Nobody wants to talk about the criminals. They don't want to talk about the rise in crime, because of bad policies. They don't want to talk about the deaths that have occurred because of bad leftist policy. You know, why do you think we have like streets in America just rampant with drug addicts? That was the Democrats, who inspired that, who encouraged that. You know, the crime is going up, up, up. Why? Well, that's because the Democrats or the leftists have encouraged that. You know, like why do I have to feel sorry for somebody who came here illegally? Like why? Tell me. Right. And there's like 20 million here. That's the estimate. 20 million undocumented immigrants in the United States. I mean, that is like I mean, just think about that for a second. That's as much that's more than several small countries. In fact, that's more than some European countries, right? That's insane. So this has nothing to do with hating people. This has nothing to do with that, any of that. You know what I mean? I'm married to an immigrant. I'm married to what you would call, I guess, a person of color. Because who knows what a person of color is anymore? You know what I mean? Because their definitions change on a daily and monthly basis, as long as it fits their narrative. You know what I'm saying? It started off with, you know, man and woman, and then it went to uh, male, female, they, them. Then it went from male, female, they, them to z, they. And then it went on to furry and you know non-binary and I don't even know. You know what I mean? The list goes on, right? They just added more and more and more. You know what I'm saying? So they just keep making up stuff as they go along. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. So anyway, that's really what I really wanted to touch on. I don't. You gotta watch the whole video to get from the beginning of what I was saying, but yeah, there's a lot of people that are grieving right now, and I tell you that I cried ever since I saw that Ukrainian girl video. I mean, I've cried, at least 3 times, 3 separate times, just thinking about her and Charlie Kirk, right? Not because I knew them personally, not because I was like, because they did anything that I agreed or disagreed with, but just because it breaks my heart that an innocent girl who basically fled Ukraine for safety came to America to be safe, right? Because they didn't want to be in a war-torn country. Now you can call them cowards or whatever you want to call them. I don't care. I could care less really about the Ukraine war. Um, you know, America has endured so many wars that we're just tired of them. You know what I mean? We're just tired of wars. We don't want to see war anymore. We don't want people to be at war, obviously, but you know, I'm not going to sit there and shame somebody because, you know, they want to be safe and that the parents want their children to be safe. What I think should happen is that Ukraine should just give up Crimea. Like, just give it up. Say, look, here's the deal. You want your people to stop dying? We want our people to stop dying. Then fine. Let the people who want to come to Ukraine, and whoever wants to stay in Crimea, and that's it. You put up a wall, you leave me alone, we leave you alone, you pay us some reparations for the damage that you caused. You know what I mean? We want you got to pay us some kind of, you know what I mean? Some kind of like grief money. Give us free, give us like whatever, 5 million barrels of oil or whatever. I don't know what Russia sells now, but, or give us like, 100 million pounds of natural gas, whatever it is. Obviously you can't pay for a life that's lost, right? But what is the point in continuing the war? Like, Russia's not going to back down. Like, you already know that. Like, I don't see that happening. So it's just land. Just give it up. Like, is holding on to that land worth thousands and thousands of more of your people dying? And then Ukraine can bring the United States in, right? Right? They could do this. They could say, look, we're going to capitulate, right? We're gonna give you Crimea, and we're gonna let the people who want to live in Crimea go. See you later, alligator, right? You want to be a Russian citizen? Go for it. And then whoever wants to come over to back to Ukraine, then let them come back to Ukraine. And then they put a wall up, forever separating Russia from Ukraine. Nothing wrong with that. And then Russia pays them in oil or in natural gas a payment for all the heartache that they put them through. It's not necessarily them saying they were wrong or whatever the case is, but Russia did invade Ukraine, right? So there should be some kind of payback for that. And then when they sign the peace agreement, then the U.S. should come in. They should bring the U.S. in and say, Russia, if you attack Ukraine, then that will be a declaration of war on the United States. Right? So no more attacking Ukraine. Because then you're saying that we can come into the war and help them fight you. And that's what we're going to do. And remember, you would be the one that would be initiating that conflict. Right? Like, it's so easy to end this. Like, very easy. Right? I understand feelings and pride and all that stuff. But, like, it's, like, so easy to stop the killing. Like, same thing with the Israel Palestine thing. Palestinians should just kill all the Hamas members. I know that sounds pretty harsh, but as long as they keep Hamas in Palestine, then Israel is always going to be a target. The conflict is never going to end. And everybody wants Israel to capitulate. Like, what are they going to capitulate to? Because even if they give Palestine to the Palestinians, even though they're not really what you think they are, but whatever, we'll call them Palestinians. To those Arabs or whatever you want to call them, then Hamas is still there. Right? And even if Palestinians get their own little country, then Hamas is still there, and they're still going to keep bombing Israel. Right? Like that's just what's going to keep happening. Like it's like, so what? Why do they think that Israel is just going to bend over and like say, sure, we'll give you your own land? When Israel has been saying that you got to renounce Hamas and you got to get people who are sympathetic with Hamas out of your country or out of your land or whatever you want to say. You see? So it's so easy to like really solve these conflicts. But because of pride, because of hatred, because of feelings, nobody just wants to do what they need to do, because then they'll feel like, oh, well, you know, we're yielding to Israel. You know what I'm saying? All because of their hatred for him. Boy, that took a lot of shots, man. Now, I do understand that there's a lot of nuance to everything, right? But I'm just talking like this because it really is just that simple. Denounce the terrorists, right? No matter how you feel about Israel, they're not terrorists, right? Muslims, Arabs, Palestinians even have been living in Israel for years. Peacefully. So I mean, so this is why it doesn't make sense. It's like, so what are you saying here when you're saying Israel hates Palestinians or they hate Muslims or whatever the case is that you're going to accuse them of? Like when Israelis, Arabs, Palestinians, and Muslims have been living side by side in the land of Israel for like decades. Peacefully. And then somehow, and for some reason, the Palestinians think that they have a right to demand from Israel what they want them to do. You better do what we want you to do. Or you have to do what we want you to do. Even though the terrorists that live on our side are shooting bombs over it and killing your people. Like, huh? It's like, what? Like, why do they think that they have negotiating power here? Like, and the people defending this is like, where's your brain cells? Did they die? I'm not like for or against Israel. It's just like, this is just obvious. You know what I'm saying? It's just obvious. Anybody with any kind of a brain can see this. But because people have been so brainwashed about, oh, Israel bad, conservatives bad, Christians bad, normal people that just want to like believe in a man and a woman and that's it because that's what nature shows us, that's what we see with our eyes, they're bad. You know, they're brainwashed into thinking like all these things are bad. You know what I'm saying? And when they aren't. It's just reality. So it's really just like, kind of, if you think about it, narcissistic behavior, self-righteous behavior. When a Christian says sin is sin or it's not sin, they're not coming from a self-righteous perspective. They're coming from a biblical perspective. Right? They believe in God. And if you're going to complain about people believing in God, well, you're kind of in the minority. because more than half the planet believe in a God, right? Whether you want to accept that or not, that's just reality. You know what I'm saying? If you want to put uh, Protestants, Catholics, and Muslims all together, well, that's more than half the population of the planet who believe there's a God. Now, we have differences in how we believe in that God, you know what I'm saying? But there's certainly a common thinking there. You know what I mean? So there's a majority belief that there's a God. So, yeah. So I'm not sure what somebody who has a brain really can think about that. Like, how are they supposed to justify, or how are they supposed to make sense of that? You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah. So I mean, again, don't take me out of context. You know what I mean? I love everybody. I don't hate anybody. I don't have any hate towards LGBT people, even though whatever we may disagree about the lifestyle or whatever the case is, um, or that I'm on a conservative side that disagrees with the lifestyle. But disagreeing with a lifestyle doesn't mean hating the person. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I don't. If I don't like chocolate ice cream and somebody else loves chocolate ice cream, I'm not going to hate the person who eats chocolate ice cream. You know what I mean? But I'm going to tell them that I really don't think chocolate ice cream is good. You know, for many reasons. You know, um, I'm bringing up chocolate because, well, I found out some things about chocolate, and it had to do with bugs. So that's all I'm going to say about chocolate. So I don't eat chocolate anymore. Um, yeah. So, you know, people are fed up now, and now that like normal regular people are becoming regular targets. Charlie Kirk was kind of like the wrong button to push now. It wasn't like we were happy that people were getting killed because of their political views or their religious beliefs. But we did want to talk about it so that people are aware that it's happening and who's doing it. But now it's like, okay, this kind of hurt people's feelings. Somebody just got on and it crashed. Yeah, this isn't really like, I don't know, man. This game is just very unstable. I'm going to try to do something else though. I'm going to turn the graphics down even more. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quit again. And I'll move this way over here. And I'm going to try to put it on the lowest settings I can put it on. So I'm going to still put it on, oh, yeah. I'm going to put it on 1440p, 60 hertz. Or maybe I'll put it on 120. Although I could put it on 240. But I don't know if it's going to like 240. Let's put it on 240 and put everything down to medium. Shadows on low. Let's try this. I don't know if it's gonna work. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah, the texture quality really can't be, I mean, you can't put that too low because the game really looks bad. So let's put it on 240 for VSync and see if that, I don't know if that's going to be good or not. That might be too high. Because usually what happens is when you put it on really high and somebody has a really piss poor connection, it causes a lot of glitches in the game. So that's why I usually like putting it on 60, 60 hertz. Um, I mean, we could try just 120 and see how that works. So this is probably the last time I'm gonna play. If it crashes again, I'll probably get off. Yeah, so this really yeah, this is it, man. This was the thing that got people saying enough is enough. And not just conservatives either. Regular people. Regular Christians who normally don't get political. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's try now. See if you can get on. I don't know. Walter was trying to get on. I don't know if that was Little Red or not, or who that was. Yeah, so it's time to vote with our feelings now, right? It's time to stop listening to the hate talk, the hate speech, the bashing, the smearing of Christians, the bashing, the smearing of conservatives, the smearing and bash talking of normal everyday people who just want to live a um, logical life of reality. You know, um, if this country goes back to liberalism, like the leftists, if they start voting left again, then it won't be me or the conservatives who will be the ones who will be suffering the most. Because history tells us that the tyrant, when the tyrant doesn't have anybody else to abuse, he goes after his own family. People or their children are going to feel the full force of what tyranny is. You know? And I'm not saying that there's a chance that the right might become tyrannical to protect themselves from the left. Okay, that's certainly a possibility. You know what I mean? But again, the left is the ones who asked for this. They're the ones who created this situation. It wasn't conservatives. Conservatives just wanted to live their lives, you know, be their own individuals, and, just kind of like live their life, be happy, and then just die. You know what I mean? Just, that's it. Like, There was nothing else. There was no racism. There was no like inequality going on. Um, you know what I'm saying? There was no hating of gays. Sure, everybody gets teased. I mean, give me a break. I got teased for wearing glasses. Like I got teased so bad just because I wore glasses. Like horrendously bad. I got beat up because I wore glasses because I look like a geek even though I wasn't a geek. So what? Am I going to feel sorry for a gay guy because he maybe got beat up for being gay? Like how, what? Like give me a break. Am I saying it's right? No, of course not. I would never say that's right. It's wrong. And people should be called out for it. But that's what you do. You call people out for it. You don't start like hating the whole conservative movement because some people, maybe on the right, were like, whatever. They had fun beating people up. Because they don't have fun just beating up gays. They probably had fun beating up anybody. You know what I'm saying? It was just easy, to target a gay person because they're so, whatever, effeminate and, fluffy. But that's why they beat me up. Because I was skinny. I couldn't. Bullies are bullies. It's not necessarily about just hating gays, you know what I'm saying? Like, sure, they might say, oh, gay guy, and you might say, see, they hate gay people because they said gays, before they went and beat them up. Like I said, that's just the point of teasing. Teasing is part of it. You know what I mean? Teasing is part of the bullying. Like it comes with the package. But gays weren't being killed. That wasn't happening. I did. And not once during the time I hung out with them did they get teased or beat up or anybody talk bad about it. So sure, you're going to have dumb people in certain areas that are going to do very bad and dumb things. But that's just the world we live in. That doesn't mean the whole nation is targeting gays. Doesn't mean the whole nation is targeting black people. Doesn't mean the whole nation is targeting whoever you want to say they're targeting. You know what I'm saying? That's a lie and it's not right. And unfortunately, the media, they're the guilty ones, right? They're the ones who have been spreading these lies for decades now. Wow, I am out in the open. Not good. Oh boy. And I got a Utah over here, which is going to make me make noise. That could be a Utah that just ran away. I don't know. Boy, there's like nothing. No cover here at all. All I could do is just be preemptive here and kill him before he gets here. Not sure what happened to the stream there. That was weird. I only got 6 bullets left. The media is responsible for spreading this hateful propaganda. here is a rock. Yep. And they have to make laws that you can't slander people. Like, you know, in your own private time, that's fine. Right? They should make a law that, but you can't slander people on national news. I heard somebody say, well, they just have to say it's opinion. Well, they've been saying that. And people, like, take it for truth. You know what I'm saying? They take the opinion as truth. Oh, man. It's freaking Utah. Now, there's probably more than one Utah here. I don't know if I got any place to hide. Well, that just got his attention. That just got his attention. You know, if any of you guys want to start a server like during the week in time, then I can join your server and then stream. Oh, here he comes, crapola. Darn it. This is not a good tree. Not a good tree. I was okay until that Utah came. There is that rock over here. Oh my god, there's more. There's a whole bunch. Huh? Here he comes. He's like right over the hill. Uh-oh, I can't move. Ah, I'm stuck. Oh boy. That's not good. Oh no. Ah. How far are you guys? Oh, those guys are pretty far. Ah, I can't. I wish you can jump in this game. See if I harvest that Utah now. It's gonna crash the game. Boy, this has got no physics. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I might die here. I'm going over here to this rock if I can. I don't remember where it is exactly. But if I can get to it, maybe I can survive. Where's the rock? Boy. I don't remember where the rock was. Over here? Yeah. Now I don't know if this is safe. I would have to get him to come to the bottom here. And then jump up on the rock. I don't know if I can run around like here. Let's see. Yeah. So that would probably be okay. Come on. See, because they got the graphics lower, I can't really see things. See, the rock is not showing. Now it's showing. Come on. It's very nice that people are on the server. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, like, I got no protection over here. I mean, I guess if I don't know. He's over there. I'm a sitting duck here. They're gonna attack me. In a group. And I got nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Except to die. Then if I die, then I'm gonna end up crashing the server. Because I gotta get my stuff. Come on. Give me somewhere safe. So I'm heading towards the T-Rex. With nowhere to hide. Uh-oh, I think there's more down below. Wow, I got Utah on all sides now. Oh, crap. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. Ha! I am pretty much dead. There he is right there. Oh boy, that got the T-Rex attention. But there's more Utah here somewhere, I think. I gotta find a hiding spot here, though. I really don't know where. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, there's all I got here is a cliff. Oh, what's this? No. Oh, can't get up here. Oh no. Get up on here. Can't believe I can't get on this rock. That is so freaking stupid. What I gotta do is get this T-Rex down here. I have to get him down here. There we go. Wow. Yeehaw! My goodness. Okay. Can't harvest it, unfortunately. Whew. Where the heck am I, anyway? I am... Maybe Z... Oh, I'm heading over to settlement. Z? Is it Z or A? No, I forget. Yeah, this is not good. Nope, 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 nope. Wrong one. Not the horn. Okay, yeah. So, oh, God, there's Utah everywhere. Is this the one that ran? I don't know if that's... Nope. Oh, there's another one there. There's another Rex over there. Okay, let me go back up here. Maybe I can attract everyone. Call me a coward. Call me what you want. I don't care. Now I can't get up here. No. Oh my god. What is up with this game? Like I can't get on the rock now. Can you believe it? I can't believe that I can't get on this rock. Ugh. Should be able to get on this thing. But now I can't get on this one. There we go. Whew. Alright, so... Oh, no, no, no. Let's try the big one, baby. The Utah is like right here somewhere. He's like right there. Oh, sucker. It's hard to see him. Okay, he's hurt. I think he's running away. Or not. So there was two here. Is this the second one maybe? Okay, that one's hurt. There's one dead over there, I'm not sure. Did I kill it? That might be the one I killed, yeah. But there's still one more, I believe. One more. I know I can go over here and get on a log. I'm getting a little hungry. Alright, I hear something over here. Ah, not this thing. Please don't crash. Okay, there's more of Utah over there. Oh, oh, there he is. Or she. There she is. I hope I can get up here. Probably on the other side. Oh, yes. Alright, let's see here. Let's see if we can get a clean shot here. Ah, always behind the tree, man. They programmed that like that, I'm sure. She sees something. Hello, pretty mama. Ah! Stupid wobble. I'm gonna shoot all through her guts. She's bleeding. She should be dead. Yep. Alright, good. Oh, it's raining. There's a Utah behind me. I hate to leave them lying around, but if I harvest, then definitely gonna crash the game. And of course it's gonna be making it really confusing for me because the footprints are still gonna be here. So there's another Utah over here. Stalking me. Stalking me. Up, here we go. Now they're gonna come. Oh, F Court says, Cooker, I miss watching you on Primal YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, I miss playing too. The game was just giving me a lot of trouble before, so that's why I stopped playing it, and I couldn't start a server. There could very well be another Rex over here. Possibly. So I have a question. Do you guys want me to play that new dinosaur game? It's only like it's not like released yet as a full game, but I forget the name of it now. Um, I don't know. There's like a free demo out. So if you guys want me to like check that out and play it, I mean it's supposed to be like a dinosaur survival game, you know. I just haven't had time to play it. Well, that's not true. I've been wanting to play other games. So maybe I should at least check it out, you know. Yeah, I would like to get back to streaming a lot more, but to be honest with you, you know, I gotta make money. So money hasn't been easy to come by these days. I really would like to loot these chests, but is that right? F Court says, Cooker, you were the one who kept everyone interested in playing Primal for this long. Well, I guess. I mean, if you say so. I can't argue with that. I really wish they had mods for this game. Man, that was just I don't know, a very bad decision on their part. Because I mean, even if they kept it in this state and sold it, you know, say at a discount price, but you know, gave it like mod support, then then people could just kind of play around with it and do what they want with it, you know, and let everybody enjoy it, you know. It's I don't really I don't really understand, man, like decisions that are made at companies that don't make any sense. Like, I mean, this was really a mini cash cow, this game, you know? Yeah, sure. Was it going to be like 20 million copies sold? No. But like I said before, from the numbers I saw last a long time ago, the game, they sold 150,000 copies. At least. That was just on Steam, you know? So I don't know where else people play this game. Like, what other platforms or whatever. Yeah, so I'm getting stalked here. I'm not sure if it's by a new one, a new Utah, or if this is like one that was injured. Yeah, I'm thinking that it's probably the hurt one. But I have to be careful cutting through here because um, I can definitely come across stalkers through here, you know? They're very quiet. Very, very quiet. Yeah, I mean, just imagine, like, if they actually, like, made this game again, but made it more like a survival kind of a game, you know? You can build yourself a little log cabin, little hunting lodge, or whatever you want to call it. You know, it had all the, beautiful forests and landscapes. You know, you can cook food to eat and survive. Craft your own weapons. I mean, Jesus, man. That's just a hit right there. Like, and populate the world with just different creatures, dinosaurs, whatever. You know what I mean? Okay, so there's a new Utah over here, I think, somewhere. So I have to watch out for that one. I don't think this log I can get on. Let's see. Maybe up here. Let's see. There we go. But I have to be careful because they can run on top of this. It's going to come running up on me. Yeah, that's why I wish I knew how to make games, man. Because that's the first thing I would do, man. Make a dinosaur hunting game. Where you can craft makeshift uh, weapons. Make your own gunpowder. You know, piss in some compost or however you make it. You know, you just start out with the basic arrow and then you have to work your way up. And that would be cool. Very nice. Ugh. I'm getting tired, guys. It's been over 2 hours. Not 2 hours of actual gameplay, but well, maybe 2 hours because it says 2:13. So I guess you can say I was. All right, F court. What happened here? Where's my gun? Oh. He's over here somewhere. I don't know. Whoop. I don't know exactly. Ah, there you go. There's two? Oh, look at that. I think there's a. Is there another one there? Or is that just a. Oh, that's just. That's probably an injured Utah. They kind of go into that stalking mode. They follow you. I guess the developers did that so that you can get the kill eventually. Otherwise, if they run away, then, you know, you'll really never find them. So that was a pretty good thing they did, you know, to make it so that, you know, you don't really just lose the kill altogether. You can at least, you know, if you get the shot, like I could have taken a shot if I had a clear shot there. Like here he comes. I see the tail. Something's coming. Something is coming. I gotta find a clearer spot. Where is it? Up, there it is. I gotta be careful, because if it sees me, it'll run away. And he's gonna go behind the tree, watch. Yep, of course. But of course. Come on, stop. So much wobble, man. Excuse me. Maybe I'll get one more T-Rex. I gotta find a good spot. There are some decent logs here. I could make us some noise. Let's see here. Where can I go? I need to find Wow. Ugh, more Utah to deal with. So annoying. Ugh. Got no cover here. I mean, I got trees, obviously, but yeah. I don't know how many Utah are up here. Oh, here's a rock. Can I get on this one now? For some reason, I just can't get up. There we go. Where are you? Maybe I should get the attention. Let me shoot. Ah, can't get him. Too high. Too high, unfortunately. It's over the hill. Come on. There it is. I see it now. Come on. Come to Papa. Darn it. Ugh. Why am I standing? It's very hard to shoot like that. I think I got him. I think he did. Yep. Can't harvest though. There's a beautiful sunrise, I think. Beautiful sunrise. Yep, very nice. So I'm gonna go over here. There's a rock over here, somewhere. I'll pick off some of these trike if I can. Oh, the bird. I gotta watch the bird. The bird will attack me. Oh, the sun's going down. Not coming up. So let me take out these trike. One down. Missed the heart, huh? Okay, that should have gotten somebody's attention. Hmm. What if the bird? Um, yeah, I don't really know. Slugs are not the best to kill the bird, but it's all I got. Now the bird shouldn't go after me. It should go after the easy kill down there. The road kill. Or, well, not road kill, but the carcasses. Now there should be somebody over here at Bushwhack. By now, you know? Good old Hunter Primal. Yeah. Good old Hunter Primal. Okay, we got a trike or a Utah. It's hard to tell. Well, I know there's a trike here somewhere, but I heard a breath, which could be a Utah, depending. Alright, I hear trike, so it's probably just trike. I'm surprised the bird didn't come back. You know, usually the bird. Let me call the trike. Here, trikey, trikey, trikey. Come on over. You can't resist that sound. It's pretty quiet over here. Well, nighttime is coming. There's Trihorn over there. We can see it, but when you scope in, for some reason, you can't see it. So let me make some noise. I don't hear any wrecks over here. Just trike. and lots of lots of wildlife noise. There you go. I did hit him. You can't get me. He's not dying because he can't see me. Watch, as soon as I run out, he'll run. Well, maybe not. Okay. That wasn't normal behavior, but maybe because I shot him so many times. He lost a lot of blood. And then sometimes they just kind of like go in shock or something. They walk slow. Yeah, well, okay. I don't know. I guess I'll call it a day. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Um, appreciate it. Um, like, sub, and share and all that good stuff. And just pray for America. Pray that this violence stops. But, you know, Bible prophecy tells us that the violence will increase. So, you know, we just have to prepare accordingly. Peace, everybody. Thanks again for watching. Take care of yourselves. Bye. Just have to shut everything down.